In this video, we will show you how to make forms sticky to retain data that was previously entered when errors are detected and you'll return to the form. If you are following along with the videos in this series, you will find the registration.php and reg_process.php pages have been modified just for this video. You may want to add the code as needed and then comment the extra pieces out in order to continue with the later videos. All of us have probably encountered a form that we fill out incorrectly, and when we are told there was an error, the data previously entered is gone. As a result, we have to start over. One word describes this: frustrating. By making forms sticky, the data previously entered remains and does not have to be typed over. This makes for a far less frustrating experience. We are using the same registration form and reg process PHP pages as in previous videos in this series. However, an additional select input has been added to illustrate a particular means of making this type of input sticky as well. Begin by doing a quick review of the registration.php page. You will see that the form consists of 3 text inputs and 1 select input. To mimic data being used to dynamically build part of a form, at the top of the page you will see a simple array of values. In the form itself is a for each loop, reading the values from the array in order to build and display the options in the select input. The form data is being sent to the reg_process page using a post method as shown in the 2 attributes in the opening form tag on line 21. In the reg_process page, the input values are all collected from the post array and then stored in variables on lines 11 through 14. Once collected, they are checked to make sure a value has been received. If any variable is empty, then an error message is added to the error array for the empty input on lines 17 through 28. Finally, the error array is checked to see if it contains any elements. It is not empty, and if so, the registration page is sent to the browser so that the inputs can be repaired. At this point, we want to implement the stickiness to the form and display the error messages to inform the registrant to fix the errors. In the registration page, we will begin by writing a PHP code block just above the form and use a loop to display all error messages in the error array. While we could add CSS to highlight the errors, we will not do so in this video. With the loop in place, we will test to make sure the errors are being generated and the error messages are working. Now let's add stickiness to the form inputs. This is done by using a simple PHP if test to detect if the variable that contains the value from the input exists. If so, we will display its value in an HTML value attribute. This process is the same for all 3 text inputs. As we did with the error message, test to make sure that the values appear. Now that everything to this point is working, let's turn to the select input. If an option from the select input is chosen and then the form is submitted but errors are found, we want the already selected option to remain selected when we are returned to the form. To make the select input sticky, we must compare the value that was previously selected and then stored into a variable to the value being built within the for each loop. If they match, then we want PHP to add the selected HTML attribute to that option. When done, that option is the one that will appear as the displayed option in the select input. To do so, start with an if test to see if the time zone variable has been set, and if so, compare its value to that of the current value of the zone variable. If they match, then add the selected attribute to the input. If the values do not match, then we will just create the standard option without the selected attribute. Once the code is in place, test to ensure that it works. By making form inputs sticky, you are helping to reduce frustration for your site visitors and also making it easier for errors to be fixed. Of course, longer and more complex forms will require more work, but this video covers the bare essentials and should help you in helping site visitors to be informed of errors and how to fix those errors. Thanks for watching.